Yeah, hi there. These comments, I'm going to just use your first letter of your name, W. I listened to your integrated speaking practice test number 11, so let's hear what you have to say.
We estimate the cost of the explosion in Russia in 5 points.
Okay, here's a problem there, is in the beginning of the speech, you want to introduce the topics of the reading and the listening passage to show that you understand what the connection is. You didn't do that. That's going to cause you a lot of trouble because you want to state the main points first before you get into the details. What you're doing, you're going directly to the details of the listening passage without stating the purpose of the listening passage. Let me ask you, what is the purpose of the listening? Why does it, or how does it relate to the information in the reading? So you may say something like this. You may say the reading passage discusses the dangers of nuclear energy, and the listening passage gives an example of one of those dangers. Then the next part of your speech, you get into, first of all, according to the reading passage, blah, 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 blah. And then second of all, according to the listening passage, blah, 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 blah. So from an organizational standpoint, you just don't have a very clear organization that explains the purpose of the two sources that you've read and that you've listened to.
First point is 28 people get killed because of the radiation.
There you want to say, I would say got killed. You can say the listening passage explains that over 40 people got killed as a result of this nuclear disaster.
Another 2 because of the explosion. The second point is 209 people.
So notice, you're not telling me where this is coming from. You're not saying the speaker says, the listening passage claims. Another point made in the lecture is, you're not using these kinds of signal phrases which introduce what's called summaries. So your point of view of how you frame your information is not done from a summary point of view. It almost sounds like it's an experience that you're talking about from your point of view.
Got acute radiation.
Notice how in the beginning of the speech you use the word get. Now you're using the word got. So you have what's called verb tense shifts.
The third point is the radiation covered almost 1,400 miles.
And don't forget the S on that, 1,400 miles.
Fourth point is...
So the fourth point in what? You can say the fourth point in the reading passage is...
1,000 people died because of the cancer. The last point is they lost 3 times of the benefit that made.
Who is they? You want to be clear. If you use the word they, it means you've already referred to that particular noun before, but you haven't. So you might want to say economic officials claim or explain that, and then you explain that they lost more than 3 times the amount of money in economic benefits than what this nuclear plant produced. You're saying that the damage and the cost of the accident was far greater than all of the economic benefits of nuclear energy for the last, I think, 40 years. I think that's what you're trying to say.
Between 1990 and 1954. Thank you.
All right. Hey, thank you for completing the practice test. Now, you didn't really explain any points from the reading at all, so I think it's important. You definitely want to show that you understand the points in the reading and the lecture and you know how to integrate them. Combine the information, explain what the relationship is. You didn't do that. So the reading passage is discussing the dangers of nuclear energy, W, and the purpose of the reading is to explain that the International Atomic Energy Agency, they don't know how to monitor countries when they're using what's called enriched uranium. They're having difficulties determining whether countries are using this enriched uranium for weapons or for energy. That's really one of the big ideas from the reading, and unfortunately you completely ignored that part of speaking task. So that probably wasn't a good idea there. Now let's take a look at the actual rubrics for this particular assignment so you can get an idea of what your score is and what grade it will mean in this class. You're not going to score very high in this one, I'll be honest. I'm going to put you in the 2 range, 2.0 out of 4. That's going to put you at 15 points out of 30. And the reason I put you in this area are just a few reasons. One, you had an incomplete response because you omitted the key points from the reading passage. Number 2, you didn't make a connection about the relationship between the reading and the listening passage. So that's also the reason I put you in the 2 range. And in addition, you have a number of pronunciation problems, so you definitely want to work a lot, I think, on your pronunciation. So my pronunciation course, the second section of my online course, has a lot of good lessons to help you speak more clearly. My advice is keep going through all of those lessons, beginning with lesson 7, go all the way through to the end until you get to thought groups and blending. That's going to help you speak more clearly. And of course, find as many opportunities as you can to speak English whenever you can. That's also very, very important. All right, so your grade of 2.0 out of 4 in our class, this translates into a grade of 70%.